This was no ordinary outing to the zoo. It was a very special occasion. It was part of a programme filmed in 1964 when we brought together a group of 7-year-old children from vastly different backgrounds. We went to prep schools, primary schools, state schools and private schools, and picked out 14 children. We brought them together because we wanted a glimpse of the shop steward and the executive of the year 2000. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. These children are now 14, halfway between childhood and manhood. This is our interim report.
If we did all love Jeffrey and we all want to marry him, I think I know the one that he likes best, and that's her.
Jackie, Lindsay, Susan.
Plenty of boyfriends, but not one.
Yeah, not one in particular. You're friends with plenty of boys, you know.
My heart's desire is to see my daddy, who's 6,000 miles away.
Bruce.
You know, I've been getting on well with my stepfather. And I like to see my father occasionally. And he does come over from Rhodesia.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Nicholas from the Yorkshire Dales.
I don't want to answer that. I don't answer those kind of questions.
No, I'm not answering that
one. Susie.
I gave that up as a failure.
I was going to be a policeman, but I thought how hard it would be to join in.
Paul.
Basketball appeals to me most, but with a school, I'm one of their best players in Form 2. But when I get into a team, they make me look as though I can't play.
Well, I feel like bundling when there's already a fight.
Was going to be a film star, but
Simon.
Now I'm going to be an electrical engineer. Just more to reality, really.
Singing Waltzing Matilda in Latin at an exclusive pre-prep school in Kensington, we chose 3 boys. Charles, Andrew,
I read the Financial Times.
And John.
I read the Observer and the Times. What do you like about it, John? Well, I usually look at the headlines and then read about them. About it. Yeah. I like my newspaper because I got shares in it and I know every day what the shares are. Like you. No, but on Mondays they don't move up, so I don't look at it.
I made several blunders on 7-Up. For instance, I said I was going to Trinity Hall instead of Trinity College. They didn't like that too much, nor did my father. Also, I rather exaggerated when I said that how much I liked stocks and shares, because I don't anymore.
How do you think you've changed since you were 7?
Well, I mean, one grows so slowly that one never notices. I mean, I feel the same as I felt at 7. I may not be.
When I leave the school, I'm going to College Court. And then I will be going to Westminster boarding school if I pass the exam.
John passed the entrance exam and is a weekly boarder at Westminster School.
When I leave school, I'm going to the Dragon School. I might. And I might go to, after I might go to Charterhouse, Marlborough.
Charles is at Marlborough.
When I leave the school, I go to Broadstairs, St. Peter's Court. Then after that, I'm going to Charterhouse.
Andrew is at Charterhouse.
When I leave the school, I'm down for Heathfield and Southover Manor.
Susie is at Southover Manor.
Would everybody please sit round?
1/3 of our children, their education was pre-planned and paid for. The remainder went to state schools, and their future seemed less certain.
I want to be a jockey when I grow up. Yeah, I want to be a jockey when I grow up.
Tony is on the way to achieving his ambition. He spends all his free time at Tommy Gosling's racing stables at Epsom.
My dad got on to Mr. Gosling.
And Mr. Gosling told me I can come here for every school holidays and learn a bit more. Next April I'll be leaving school and I'll work for him for good.
Did your parents encourage you to do this?
Yeah, they're pleased with me what I've got to, going to do. But they always has wanted me to be a jockey.
Why?
Enjoyment. Just to say my son's a jockey, like, I mean.
Tony's change from elementary school to secondary modern didn't alter his ambition. But how about the other children? Has a change of school changed them? Bruce was at a pre-preparatory boarding school in Surrey.
And that's farmer heat gives me nightmares.
I was about 5 when I went there, and then I suppose I was too young really to understand it, and I thought it was a bit severe at the time, but then I just got used to it and didn't have sort of any impulses to do things wrong or anything like that, and I just got into the track of, of what they said you must do and mustn't.
Squad steady! Squad left foot inward, place! Squad breathing!
At St Paul's, I like the companionship, with other boys, really. And you get that much more in a boarding school.
Well, I think boarding makes you feel self-sufficient. And also it teaches you to be away from your parents and to live with people for a long time, which you have to do in later life anyway.
Well, I agree with that certain amount, but when you board on a weekly basis, you have the best of both worlds, so to speak. One sees one's parents at the weekend, and one gets all the benefits from an English boarding school.
Well, I think prep school boarding is a bad idea.
Yes.
Because up to about 12, maybe it's different with other people, but I found that you're much more attached to your parents. Once you come to about 13, 14, you're not quite so attached to them.
Two of our boys who didn't have the chance to be attached to their parents were those brought up in a children's home supported by charity. Simon.
I had one dream and everything flew up in the air. It all landed on my head.
Simon stayed at the home until last Christmas when he returned to live with his mother.
They say, where's your father then? When your mum's out at work, instead of your father. And I just tell them I ain't got one.
What effect has that had on you?
Well, I don't think it's had any effect on me, because what you don't have, you don't miss, and as far as I can see.
Also at the children's home with Simon was Paul. He and his family emigrated when he was 8.
I don't like the big boys hitting us, and the monitors up in the washroom sending us out when there's no talking. And I wasn't talking today, and Brown sent me out for nothing.
What do you remember of England?
It seemed to be raining all the time. I wouldn't stake my life on it, but because I can't remember very much.
He went to Australia to start a new life.
Well, I was going to become a bank accountant, but it's more book-taking than maths, and that was the main reason I was thinking about becoming a panel beater. And I don't know why I've stopped thinking about that. I just haven't made up my mind yet. I was going to be a phys ed teacher, but one of the teachers told me that you had to get up into university.
Were you happy at the children's home in England?
We didn't mind that really, because we didn't know what was going on, because we were a bit young.
Were you happier then than you are now?
In a way, yeah, I was. But then I'm happy for being at home. At the school, everything you wanted, you just had it, and, everybody was your friend. And you never knew any enemies, really. But here, people are undecided about you. They can be your friend one day and not the next.
And then I moved up to a comprehensive school. I found it much bigger, of course, and I found it hard to settle into it first.
From a Liverpool suburb, returning home from the comprehensive school, Neil and Peter.
I'm much more happy now than when I first came. You get to know different types of people. People, different sort of brains, you know, from the very sort of very clever people to the, you know, people who haven't got much sense at all, really.
Well, we pretend we've got swords, and we make the noise of the swords fighting, and when somebody stabs us, we go, ah!
I've been playing since I started at the comprehensive school, since the first year.
We play international wrestling.
Yeah, that's all at summertime, though.
Yes, only when we can go on the grass.
There used to be a senior team, but they all lost interest. Watch this. Shitways.
Oh, hey?
Gosh, it is. How do you do that? Because it's a very good idea to have competition. Otherwise you might start to relax, really, and not so try hard enough.
What do you think?
I agree, yes. This is a good thing. If there was no one to compete with you, you wouldn't be trying as hard.
The three little girls from the East End had the choice of going to a comprehensive or a grammar school.
I'm going to work in Walworth.
Lindsay chose the grammar school.
Why am I using wooden spoon, please, to stir this saucepan? The noise, yes, we've got 16 people, 16 saucepans. We don't want the noise from 16 people stirring with metal spoons.
This is my first choice, and this is where I turned up, even though some of my friends were going to the other school.
I didn't feel like going to a grammar school. I just, you know, comprehensive school, it just seemed more friendly, you know, and at the time that is, but now, you know, really different.
Grammar school's fantastic.
You say something.
Well, we've all got our opinions.
What advantages has the comprehensive school got?
Oh, especially this school, it's new and they've got everything you could want. They've got, yeah, the equipment and...
I mean, what I enjoy about this school is, with this school, we do metalwork and woodwork, and the boys do cookery. I mean, we get a share of everything, sort of thing, as it were.
It's good though, isn't it, metalwork and that? Yeah.
Well, in a grammar school, I don't think you find many girls that really want to do metalwork or woodwork.
No, see, that's what I mean. I think that's the difference.
The schools, that's the sort of thing that shows the difference in the people.
One of the keys to the character of the 7-year-old was how they spent their free time. Bruce had his school band.
When I go home, I come in and Mummy gives me a cup of tea, and then I go out and play. And when it starts to get dark, I come in again and put on TV.
Last night I didn't go to bed till 7.
I usually go to bed 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Sometimes I go dog racing. Because I like, you know, going there for something to do at night. So I don't really do anything at night. Only by going dogs or watch other things, watch telly.
I didn't watch very much television.
I used to watch it a lot, but I'm not watching it so much. And I think it's good because a lot of it is corrupting me a bit.
I like serials, like Paper Place and Crossroads. I always watch Crossroads when I can.
For one thing, the advertisements, you know, I can recite about 6 tunes off, and it just seems a worthless thing to know.
There are too many things going on at school, though we do have a television, and at the weekends I can be more selective, and there's not much that I like.
Well, I'm quite interested in archaeology, and we're doing a local dig at Binscombe, near our school.
Being in set one, it's very, very hard to keep up with the leaders. I never have a time to relax at all.
What do you do in an evening?
Oh, just go out with friends normally.
Yeah.
Or to clubs sometimes.
Yeah. There ain't many clubs around here, it's disgusting. It really is. You hear people talking about it on television, but it's really bad around in the East End. It really is, there's hardly anything.